down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, you need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions.
It's 10:08 on Friday morning. We have 46 degrees and cloudy skies, and it is time for Home Repairs and Solutions, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air and your hosts, Mark and Mary. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's a beautiful Friday today. Can you believe this weather?
I know it.
It's just unbelievable. 60
It
degrees
is.
tomorrow.
I know. That's crazy.
Yeah, it does. We're having a Christmas party and it's going to be 60 degrees.
Just don't
I
seem
guess
right.
that's okay.
You know?
Yeah. It's not quite the same, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I will too, definitely.
I'll take it.
You know, I really wish, though, we would have a really good freeze for a few days or some snow or something to kill
We
all
need
this
it.
stuff in the air, because I'll tell you what, this week's been rough on me fighting sinuses and stuff. I went to urgent care one day, went to my doctor the next, and finally I'm starting to feel better, but it's
Yeah.
just, stuff still blooming and everything. It's crazy.
It is. I know a lot of folks are having all kinds of strange illnesses this time of year. So
Oh, I know it.
it's got to be because things haven't died off yet or
That's
something.
right. That's true.
But-
But you know what? No matter what it's doing outside, on Friday mornings, the sun's always shining right here.
At Home Repairs,
Repairs
and
and Solutions
That's
at KWTO.
Right. That's exactly right.
Always sunny weather.
It is. And I've been trying to get a guest on the show here for quite a while. It's someone, I've been friends with them for probably close to 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about their products a few times and different things like that. And I finally got them to send a representative to be on the show today. And I think this is going to be a great show.
Oh, yeah.
My good friends are Bevan R.D. Schmidt over at Outdoor Home.
Mm-hmm.
And, we've talked about big green eggs, and you
Oh,
have
yeah.
one, and I have one,
Sure.
and we cook on them and different things. And so we have Mark Ranum, is that correct?
That's correct.
With us here today from Outdoor Home. So if you have any questions about grilling, smoking, cooking outside, you need last-minute Christmas gifts, you have an egg and have a question about anything you want to do, anything you need to know or ask about, he's here to answer those questions today.
Yes, he is, and we are glad to have him.
We are. And, before we get started, I was thinking, last week you gave out your phone number
Yeah.
and people could text questions to you.
Yep.
And what do we get, like 6
Oh, yeah.
questions or something? So
Yeah, sure
do you
did.
want to give out your number
I will
again?
do that. If you'd like to text us a question for me, Mary, or Mark, or whatever, you can do that at 417-838-3192. And we'll try to answer your question on air. Or you can give us a call right here in the studio if you're not shy to talk on the radio. 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056 are the numbers. So now you got three ways you can get a hold of us. Toll free if you live here in town, you got that number.
Or you can text.
Or you can text.
More and more people. I'm finally getting into texting a little bit. It took a while, and I'm still not very fast or real good at it. But I do once in a while send a text to my kids or some of my friends or something, just a real little short. I don't write any kind of thesis or
Yeah.
anything, but
Well, I
just
tell
a little
you,
short, hi, how are you? Or
in my business, in the real estate and home building business, it's just this week alone, I've been working on a deal for some folks on a house, and me and that agent, just because of her schedule and mine, we have text back and forth several times, important information that we would need. She was in a meeting, but she could text me.
Yeah.
And vice versa. And it's amazing the amount of people who are using text
Yeah,
to
it's-
conduct business now.
That's true. That's for sure. But I'm glad that you came up with that because that worked out great last
Yeah.
week. And some people are kind of shy. Not
They are.
everyone's like me and you, Mark.
No, that's true. That is true. So, well, I know we got folks out there that wants to hear about Outdoor Home.
Yes, I'm
it's
sure
a great
we
place.
do.
If you've never been there, you got to go.
You do.
Yeah.
You've got to go.
if
They
you-
have an amazing store. They have 2 stores, actually. Do you want to give out your locations where both of your stores are, just in case someone doesn't know where you're at, Mark?
That's correct, Mary. We have 2 locations of Outdoor Home. Of course, one's in Springfield at 3107 East Chestnut Expressway. And our second location is fairly new to us. We opened up a store in Nixa. It'll be 3 years ago this March. But it's at 404 South Massey Boulevard there in Nixa. So we're just one block south of the 14 and 160 highway with 160 frontage.
Now, I've been to both of the locations. Obviously, the biggest location is here in Springfield.
It is. It is.
But the Nixa location, you still have a lot of the products in that store, just not quantity-wise as much, but product-wise, I was surprised that you carry so many of the products in the Springfield store and the Nixa store, because it is quite a bit smaller.
Literally, it is. It's
But-
the same exact. It's the same exact products that we carry at both locations. And like you said, it's a little smaller store, so we don't have quite as much inventory there as far as selection, but we have everything represented within the lines. And of course, we can pull from either store's inventories. We have a warehouse where we can do that too. So we may have to show you some pictures and some samples, but we'll have the quality of the product represented in samples there on the floor.
So I would imagine there's a lot of people that have Big Green Eggs now. Do you have a lot of people still come in and want to know what that is?
We carry a wide variety of grills, actually. Grills, smokers, and we're talking about gas grills along with Big Green Egg. We carry electric smokers. So we have quite a few options, but Big Green Egg is our number one seller.
Yep.
It's kind of what our whole business was basically founded on. Bev and RD, you mentioned a little bit earlier, the owners of the store, they kind of started that years ago. And we've been in business around 15 years now in the Springfield area. So, people are getting used to hearing our commercials on radio and coming in and seeing our stores. And, of course, from their family and friends and neighbors, they're learning about, some of the products that we carry. And Green Egg, obviously, is one of those.
Sure, absolutely. Do you still do now? I know for a while they used to do demonstrations in front of the store here once in a while, and they would have an egg cooking and have things that they were cooking so people could come in and they would kind of show them how that works and everything. For someone who doesn't have a Big Green Egg, can you just explain kind of how they work and why they're such a... I think they're just an amazing product. I just love them. I just love it.
Yeah, and all three of us own one.
Absolutely.
Mark has one, and Mary has one. I have one. I've owned mine for about 3 years, so you guys might even have had yours a little longer than I've had mine.
That's about the length I've had mine. About
Right.
3
We
years,
bought ours
yeah.
when they opened their store.
Okay, so
We were one of their first clients.
Yeah,
Yeah, So-
exactly. It's nothing new. Actually, the technology on Green Egg is something that goes back about 3,000 years. Green Egg is actually a Kamado style cooker, which is basically an oven, masonry oven that comes out of the Asia. Is where it was originated. But the gentleman that came up with the concept of Big Green Egg as a company, he was a pretty smart individual. He hooked up with a manufacturer called Dow Corning. And the Dow Tile division of Dow Corning had developed a material called corderite. And corderite, Dow developed that for NASA. NASA's application is the bottom of the space shuttle. That's what keeps it from burning up on reentry.
Wow.
Okay? So you've got a ceramic material that's been developed for really fast expansion contraction, right? But at the same time, it works as an excellent insulator. Most grills, when we think of charcoal grills or gas grills, are typically made of metal.
Right.
If you think about it, it's metal grills are made of a conductor. So the whole time that you're sitting there trying to maintain temperature and moisture and that type of thing, the grill's hurting you. It's actually fighting against you. It's actually pulling that away. We have some conveniences, with gas grills. I mean, it's awfully easy to go out and hit a button.
Exactly.
To ignite
Right.
it. And
Right.
So I mean, there are some factors that make it really nice for grilling. But part of the neatness, I think, of the egg is the diversity, because you can use it as a grill, and you can get it hotter than you can a typical gas grill, unless the
Right.
gas grill's, adapted with infrared burners or something unique. But as a smoker, I don't know if you guys use yours as smokers, but I know at home
we have.
I'll do a pork butt, and I'll put that thing on a Saturday night before I go to bed and sleep all night. Never have
Yeah.
to get up and look at the temperature.
Yeah.
Never go out and add more fuel or anything. Where if you had the old side smokers or something like that, you'd be checking it
Constantly
every couple
checking
hours.
it. Oh, yeah.
and-
I've been
and
through that.
Feeding
Yeah.
it and that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's nice, and I use mine quite a bit as an oven. You know, I'll do wood-fired ceramic ovens, so I'm doing pizzas out there, and I bake bread in it.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things that you just don't think about a grill.
Right.
You know, and in a lot of ways that saves me money. You know, particularly with this hot summer that we just came out of. You know, I could go outside and things that I would usually put in the oven inside the house. You know, I wasn't turning on the air conditioning of the home to compensate for my oven being on.
Right.
You know.
Well, I'm sure, you know, Mary can, contest to this. If you do a lot of baking and stuff, it puts a heat in your house.
It does. It
And
certainly does.
Yeah, your air conditioner works harder, and it takes longer to get that out. And I think that's the really neat part about the egg, as far as I'm concerned, is the way it, I'll put something on it and I'll just walk away and leave it, and I'll come back 4 or 5 hours later, the temperature's still right there, and it's just amazing. And I never cooked on anything that I've enjoyed cooking on as much as that egg.
Now, there is a little bit of a learning curve, though.
There is,
When
and I'm
you
still
get
learning.
one,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a learning curve, but it is really one of the most fun outdoor things that we ever got to cook on. And we've used ours for several things. We've used it to slow cook on, like to do like a pulled pork or ribs or anything like that. We're going to actually put a couple briskets. We're going to do briskets tomorrow for our party tomorrow night on them. We've also used it as to sear a steak. You can get it hot enough, you can sear a steak. We've used it with smoking woods. We've smoked turkeys and hams and stuff. So the diversity of it is just really neat. You don't have to have multiple units to do different things.
That's correct.
And the charcoal, it uses that lump charcoal, not the briquettes. And they last a really long time. They last longer than just like a little briquette or something does. I don't know why that is, but I know that when we had other grills before, we went through a lot of charcoal for some reason.
Yeah, lump charcoal is completely different from a briquette.
Yeah.
Briquettes are actually manufactured. Lump charcoal is just pre-burnt wood. And the reason that they use lump charcoal, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, it tends to burn hotter, all right? And the idea behind the egg is that we're warming the ceramics. And it's actually radiant heat from the ceramics that's doing your cooking versus the direct heat from the fire. That's one of the reasons why, and you guys probably know, steaks and chicken breasts and things like that come off so much more moist than what you have with a typical grill. When you close that lid and you've got a piece of meat sitting on the cooking grid, it's the same temperature below the grid as it is above the grid, and that stabilizes the moisture in the meat.
I have to tell you a story. One of my favorite things to cook in there is pork, because oftentimes pork, if you're not careful, you get it too dry. And we were down at the lake one time and we were cooking on the egg, and I can't remember what we were cooking, but anyway, our neighbors had some pork chops, and so we said, well, there's no need to start up your grill, just throw them on here. And we had enough meat for everybody that we sat down and we started eating, and we threw their pork chops on there, and actually, we had turned the egg off. I don't know why they did that, but we'd shut it all down, and we completely forgot those pork chops were on there. Completely forgot about them for like probably 2 hours. And we went back and went, uh-oh, wonder what your pork chops look like.
Yeah, you mentioned cooking at the store.
It was amazing. The pork chops were not overdone. They were moist and juicy. They were tender. I mean, it was incredible.
Right, yeah, you don't have to be a good cook.
You
The
don't.
egg's going to make it pretty forgiving for you.
It does.
I wish I had a dime for every time I was working maybe with clients on the store. We had maybe some chicken breasts that we were sampling out on a Saturday, and those chicken breasts might have been on there a good 20 minutes longer than they needed to be, yet they might have been a little done on one side, but still they'd be a real moist piece of meat and very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me not too long ago. I put some chicken breast on mine and got busy and forgot about it, and I realized what I'd done is like 2 hours. And for a chicken breast on a grill, you have to attend to them
Really
pretty
pay
regular.
attention,
Yeah.
sure.
Well, the bottom, it was pretty done on the bottom, but the rest of it was just as moist and they were great. And my wife got home from work. I'd put them on in the evening, and she got home like 11 o'clock that night, and I'd shut the grill down and left them out there just to stay warm. And she's like, I can't believe these are that good. And I'm like, well, I kind of forgot and left them on there longer than I should have, but they were excellent.
They are. And, if you get an egg, it'll kind of spoil you.
It will.
If you like to go out to eat, you'll probably get over that.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to go out and find a steak or something as good as what you can cook at home on an egg.
I haven't been to
Really?
a steak restaurant or a barbecue restaurant, and I know that some of the listeners might
Yeah.
might not want to hear that, but I haven't been in 3 years because I can actually do it better at home.
Sure.
Yeah,
Now-
it'll like you said, it'll make a good cook out of a mediocre cook.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, that moistness from the meat, though, that's actually a derivative of the quarter-right material. You know, again, that we're talking about an insulator that is it's a high-end porcelain ceramic. So there's no terracotta. You know, it doesn't have any gravel in it. There's no sand. You know, I mean, this is space age stuff. If you saw the factory where these things are made, it's pretty impressive. I mean, the people are walking around in spacesuits, and it's
Really?
strictly,
Wow.
and to create this material, they fire it in ovens for multiple days at extremely high temperatures. I wished I'd maybe done a little more homework there so I
Yeah.
could have been more precise, but it's very impressive. You know, and egg has exclusivity to that material. You know, so there's a lot of other Kamado style
Right.
grills out
Sure.
there, but they're not going to be an egg.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they're
Yeah, the
completely
materials,
different.
it's made out of different material. And
It is, yeah, because egg
yeah.
has exclusivity through Dow Corning and the Dow Tile division of Dow Corning.
And isn't there a lifetime warranty on the egg?
It is, yeah, it's a lifetime
Yeah.
warranty.
Yeah.
And that covers all your ceramics. So you buy a new egg, it's the last grill you'll absolutely ever buy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and outdoor home, that's what we got started with. You know,
Yes.
so, when we started looking at maybe carrying some other forms of grills, some other manufacturers of grills, we had to kind of look at that, and we looked at Green Egg, and then we said, well, if we offer a gas grill, we need to have at least comparable to what we're offering with Big Green Egg. So we carry manufacturers like MHP, Modern Home Products. Modern Home Products makes a fine gas grill. As a matter of fact, people aren't familiar maybe with Modern Home Products as a manufacturer. But they were the people that originated the gas grill. They invented it.
Oh, wow.
When their when their patents wore off, then everybody else, hopped on the
Really?
bandwagon.
Wow.
So we carry the oldest manufacturer of gas grills in the United States.
Cool.
And when we can, we try to work with American manufacturers with most of our goods. When we can. you
Yeah.
know.
We have a caller.
Yes, we do. Corbin in Battlefield. Go ahead, Corbin.
Morning. Hey, I just want to let you guys know I got an egg. It's not the biggest one, but it's the one just right there below it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? The price is kind of a shocker in a way, but you know what? You're never going to be buying another grill again either. And I mean, you can definitely tell the difference between just cooking on the egg and cooking on a normal grill. I mean, there is just no comparison. The meat just, I don't know, it's just the fact that all the heat just surrounds, I guess, the meat and sears it. That's what makes it, have that taste to it. And I mean, it's just absolutely wonderful. The only drawback to the egg is the fact that, you got to fire the thing up. It takes about 15, 20 minutes to, get up to temperature. And unlike on just a normal grill, it only takes maybe 5 minutes at most. But I mean, I love my egg, I really do. And I mean, we've I've broiled chickens on them. We do a lot of steak. That's probably the biggie right there. I haven't done any fish yet. That's probably going to do that this summer. But I mean, it's a great product. It really is. I mean. And like I said, you're talking about, you're talking a good chunk of change for the egg, but you got to figure, on a gas grill, how long is that thing actually going to last you? And
Right.
how many times are you going to be replacing that thing, every 5 years, 5 to 6 years because something's rusted out or something like that. I mean, you basically bought yourself an egg over that time period.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Yeah, you're right.
Corbin, if you're going to do some fish, I would recommend if you like salmon, do a plank salmon on the egg. It is fantastic.
Yeah, that's the one thing right there. That we're going to try. We're going to do the plank salmon, and I'll tell you some charcoal that I've found that I really like, and it's that mesquite charcoal out there at Sam's. And I don't know about that. It just really adds a good flavor to it too. So. That's. I know you guys sell your own charcoal, but I don't know. It's just something about that charcoal and that the flavor. It really adds a lot to it. So
Right. Well, great. Well, Corbin, we appreciate your call very much.
Hey, no problem.
All righty. Thank you. Now, when I do mine, of course, I come to the Outdoor Home Store and I buy my green egg charcoal there. Now, he gets his somewhere else, and that's fine. But if I want a smoke flavor, I can just add some chips, wood chips to that.
You can get
And
mesquite wood chips.
You can
Sure.
get mesquite wood. You can get all kinds of different. Because I was looking one day at your different types of wood chips and stuff out there.
Absolutely, we carry. There's flavors I haven't even tried.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got about every type of a smoking wood that you could imagine, and we bring that in from all over the country. We bring mesquite from the Southwest. We bring in alderwood from the Northwest. And if you were mentioning salmon, if you try a little alderwood with salmon, it's one of the mildest of the nutwoods, and it'll get you a wonderful result, and you'll still be able to taste the fish, so you're not going to be covering it up.
Right.
I've used quite a few of your smoking woods, and we've kind of learned which ones we like with. Like I really like applewood with like chicken.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
that type of thing. So you kind of play. It's fun. You can play with it and kind of figure out
Yep.
what flavors you like with what.
Yeah.
And that way you can have a variation of the flavors in your woods that way.
Oh, yep, that's right. I hear the music, and that means one thing. It's time to take a break here this morning on Home Repairs and Solutions. We'll be right back.
Said you need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house. They'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions.
Here's news on the Ozarks News Network. A man is under arrest this morning following a break-in and fire in South Springfield. Police say the suspect broke into the Assemblies of God business office in the 500 block of West Battlefield, then set fire to a car nearby. The suspect was picked up near the scene and faces charges including arson and burglary. A fourth person has been indicted in connection with the killing of a couple from Willard. 31-year-old Wendy Friend of Springfield is charged with conspiracy to commit murder in the deaths of Russell and Becky Porter. The Porters' bodies were found near Pro Tem after they went missing last spring. The suspect's husband, Tony Friend, his son, Philip, and Dusty Hicks had earlier been charged with first-degree murder, armed criminal action, and felonious restraint. And gasoline prices in Springfield have fallen below $3 a gallon. The statewide average is now $3.01. The price is as low as $2.89 in Joplin and $2.84 in parts of St. Louis. For the Ozarks News Network, I'm Arlen Summers.
Are you concerned with losing money in your retirement account? Tune in each Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. to Common Sense Economics for the Family with Tommy Ruff. Learn the secrets of how to eliminate fees and commissions and market losses without spending one more dime than you're currently spending. That's every Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. Common Sense Economics for the Family with Tommy Ruff, right here on KWTO AM 560.
Join us for Morning Line, weekday mornings from 7 to 10 a.m. on AM 560, KWTO and FM 99.9 KBFL.
Sun followed by clouds today, high 54. Then tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, low 43. Clouds breaking for sun tomorrow, but it will be windy with a high getting up to 61 and a low tomorrow night of 37. Partial sunshine Sunday, high 54. Times of sun and clouds Monday, high 53. Mostly sunny Tuesday, high 50. I'm AccuWeather's Kevin Snyder.
I need a data backup solution for my business to replace my current tape backup device.
Do you want to spend a lot of money?
No.
Do you want to store and pay for replicated data?
No.
How about a solution that's difficult to install and use?
No.
Offshore or automated phone tree support okay?
No.
Then yes, we can help.
Barracuda Backup. End-to-end protection for physical and virtual servers, including data deduplication to significantly reduce storage requirements, and replicated cloud storage for assured recovery, and live humans to answer your calls. Try Barracuda Backup free. Go to barracuda.com/yes.
Whether you have one small houseplant or acres of land, you're gardening. Hi, this is Nick Federoff. Join me every Sunday morning right here on KWTO AM 560, where we talk about gardening, landscaping. I'll help you out with all of your indoor and outdoor living ideas. All you have to do is to tune in, and that's Sunday morning with Nick Federoff on gardening here on KWTO AM 560, the talk of the Ozarks.
Sunday morning, 9 to 11.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, you need home repairs and solutions.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the second half of Home Repairs and Solutions. And we are going to be talking some more charcoal and smoking woods and different things with Outdoor Home.
I'm getting hungry.
But I know. It does make you hungry,
I know
doesn't
it does. Oh, man.
I was going to say, last weekend I went to your band was playing at the library.
Yes, we
And
did.
I came by and listened to you guys.
did?
You guys are very good.
Well,
of course,
thank
I knew
you.
you were, but I've never come to see you live
Well,
before.
I appreciate that.
And you did a great job. I really
thank you.
enjoyed it. Some Christmas music. It was very nice. And there was a lot of people there.
I think we had about 120 people pack that little room.
Yeah,
and,
that room was full.
yeah,
I was standing up.
Yeah.
There was standing room only.
It was
so.
a real good time. My good friends Red Bridge is who I was playing with, and yeah, it was fun. Had a really good weekend. So.
Yep.
And tonight is our monthly jam that we have with the GOBS, the Greater Ozarks Bluegrass Society. And so if you want to play or listen to a little music, well, you can come out to River Bluff Fellowship, which is on Evans Road between Springfield Lake and 65 Highway. And it starts about 7 o'clock tonight. And we just encourage anybody, if you're just learning how to play or you're a professional musician, whatever, come out and be with us. We're just going to have a good time. And we're actually going to do bluegrass karaoke tonight, if you can
Oh,
imagine.
my goodness.
We got a house band that's going to...
Now that has got to be fun.
You name your song, the house band. We got some, I think some of the Chapmans who are a touring professional band. They're going to be there to back the singer up. And so we're going to do live bluegrass karaoke. And it's going to be a hoot.
You know what? If I didn't have plans, if I didn't have kids and grandkids coming to the house tonight, I would go just to see that.
Oh, yeah.
That has just got to be a ton of fun.
It's going to be fun. So that'll be tonight and River Bluff Fellowship. So we'd love to have you there.
And that's once a month.
Once a month. Second Friday of each month.
Okay.
We do our monthly jam. And if you like it and you want to become a member, you can sign up. And we've got a lot of good things happening. We're working on a scholarship program right now. For the schools, and then a program for the school system as far as education about different kinds of music, mainly bluegrass and old acoustic and old-time music and stuff. And it's really turning into a really neat deal. So we got some neat things happening.
Good.
So
good to know, Mr. Mark.
That's right. Like to have you there. But most off, we'd like to have you call in the program.
We
would.
A question. If you have a question.
That's right. 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056, or if you want to text us a question, which I did get a text,
okay,
you can do that at 417-838-3192. That's my cell phone, and I'll read the text off, and so
get your question answered.
Yeah, that's right. But the question I had was, gentleman was moving, and for some reason his big green egg got broke. Is there anything you can do? Can they be repaired, or is that just once they're broke, they're broke?
It'll kind of depend, Mark, on what kind of damage is done to the egg. One thing about ceramics, it doesn't bounce very well.
Right, yeah.
So that's probably why they call them an egg. But, we handle replacement componentry. So there's not a piece or a component on an egg that we won't have in stock.
Right.
So if he could make a list of the items that he needs, we can definitely
well, I
help
think
him
this
out there.
it broke the actual bottom
ceramic
part, cracked it.
Right.
And so...
if it's firebox, those eggs are made up of about 4 pieces of ceramics. And of course the heart of it is going to be that base and the dome. The interior ceramics. But if any of that's in good play, in good condition yet, it'd be less expensive for him just to replace the base and use those existing pieces back in it. And he'd be better off than buying a new one.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
We've talked a little bit about the expense of an egg. Our number one selling egg is a large. They come in 5 different sizes, from a mini all the way up to an extra large. But our best selling egg is a large, and they'll sell for about 8.5. So it's it is a little bit of an investment, which the earlier caller Corbin had mentioned. But we handle every accessory that is available from the manufacturer for Big Green Egg, so that helps a lot too.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of different things you can get. I came in one day and bought the ceramic plate that went in there.
Plate setter.
Yeah, and there's so many accessories and everything. It's it's so cool because you can buy about anything. You know, for
Yes, you
those.
can.
Woks, yeah,
Yeah.
it's really just anything you could imagine cooking outdoors. You can pretty well,
Oh, yeah.
or even inside the house, you can pretty
Sure.
well go out and do on an egg.
Right.
You know, that other caller, Corbin also mentioned charcoal.
Mhm.
You know, and one of the things that we talk about, you know, and we have to kind of explain that because we are using two different, you know, there is a different type of fuel that we're using with a green egg. We mentioned it earlier. It's called lump charcoal. Lump charcoal is completely different than a briquette. And there are, you know, one thing about lump charcoals, you can buy it anywhere, and you can buy briquettes anywhere. Yeah, you just have to look at the bag and make sure it says lump versus the other. But we kind of touched on it earlier. Lump charcoal will burn a little hotter, and we're trying to heat up that ceramics quick and that type of thing. You know, Green Egg actually makes their own charcoal, or has it
And
done
that's
for
what I
them anyway.
use, the actual green egg
Right, you
charcoal.
know, and Green Egg charcoal is what they call a premium charcoal, which means it's a top shake. It tends to be bigger pieces. The other benefit that you'll have from it is that they only use white oak and hickory. White oak and hickory are really dense woods. If you think about axe handles, they make axe handles out of hickory wood.
Hickory, yeah.
You know, and so that denser the wood, the longer the burn time. And one other step that they do that you won't find with other manufacturers is they kiln dry the charcoal after it's manufactured. That makes it drier. They've taken more of the moisture out. So that makes it easier to light.
Sure.
You know, it's going to burn a long time. You know, and that's you know, costs a little bit more than what you'll find with the competition. But you know, personally, I find that my egg using the Green Egg charcoal, and if I keep moisture and stuff out of the equation and prepare my bed right, it takes me about 12 to 15 minutes to go from nothing up to about 300, 325.
Right.
You know, as far as bringing it up. And when I had my gas grill before I got my Green Egg, you know, I'd have to turn it on and it'd have to warm up a little bit before I could go out and put food on it. So I think that's impressive. You know, here you don't have to have chimney starters. You don't have to have lighter fluid. You know, you've taken all that carcinogenic factor out of the equation. And, the flavors are just going to be better.
Yeah. Well, I really like the fact that you don't have to use the starter fluid.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I just never did really like that. And I don't know, maybe it's just my imagination, but sometimes I felt like
you could taste it.
You could taste it.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then your manufactured briquettes, to me, always don't give the best flavor ever was. But with the Green Egg, and I use the Green Egg charcoal, I mean, you taste the flavor of your food. And or if you want to add chips to it, you know, your smoking chips and stuff. That's what you taste. You don't taste any of the other stuff. You know, you don't taste the charcoal like you would off of regular briquettes. It's amazing.
My mother-in-law never did like using charcoal because she didn't like that weird taste off of a charcoal grill.
Yeah.
Until one year for Christmas, a bunch of the kids got together and we bought them a big Green Egg. She's perfectly fine with the food that comes off the big Green Egg because, like you said, it tastes like what you're cooking. But up until then, she really didn't like to use a charcoal grill because of all the weird flavors you get off the charcoal and the starter and all that kind of stuff. And she just wouldn't eat anything that came off of it. But she likes the egg. She's real happy with that. And they're in their 70s and they probably cook on egg 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah, that's about
They
where
just
I'm
love
at.
it.
I'm easily about 2 to 3 times a week anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it's an interesting thing. You know, it may not be lighter fluid, but if it was an old charcoal grill and they were buying briquettes, you know, a briquette is actually a manufactured product. We talked about that a little bit earlier. You know, and they actually will grind charcoal, like lump charcoal, up into a fine powder. And then they mix that with things like, glue, you know, white school type glue. You know, they'll also mix it with limestone shell. So it's got rock in it. You know, they'll mix it with sawdust. You know, and then they'll have to put lighter fluid on it to get it to even light. You know, and that's how come you always had to start with that white, glowing briquette, you know, before you could even start cooking. You know, with natural lump charcoal, once you're at temp, you're ready to cook.
Right.
You'd have 2 pieces lit, and you're ready to cook if it's holding the temperature you need to be cooking at. You know, so a much more efficient fuel. You know.
Yeah.
That's for sure. One of the other things I really like about the stores, either one, it doesn't matter where you want to go, but there's you have all kinds of really good seasonings and all types of things. 2 of my absolute favorite, and I've tried several of the different seasonings there, but I love the Big Green Egg and the Steak and Roast Rub are my absolute 2 most favorite spices that you guys have in the store. And I have bought, I can't even imagine how much I've bought that over the 15 years, but if you are wanting to cook a certain kind of piece of meat, and you really don't know if you want to add some smoking woods or something with it, and you're not sure because, like you said, you have an enormous variety of different smoking woods from fruit to nut woods to whatever, then someone can go in the store and say, like, I want to smoke a turkey. What would be the proper woods to go with it? What kind of seasoning? I mean, you can get all that information and all that stuff in one place so that you can season it, smoke it, and everything just the way you want it to come out.
Absolutely, and you don't have to be an egg owner. I mean, you can come
Correct.
in. You might have a different type of smoker. You might
Sure.
have a different type of grill. Maybe you're trying to do something a little different. Maybe you've always done steaks, and now it's time to try a smoked loin or something out on your gas grill. Come in and talk to our staff. We at both stores we try to encourage our staff to share recipes and everything else. For instance, you can even go to our website. If you go to our website at outdoorhome.com, we have the recipe of the month for the last 9 years. That's some of it's ideas that clients have brought in that we've tested and thought, man, that's good. We got to share that.
You bet.
Or we might, copy some information. But a lot of that is just home. That's just good old home cooking. That's, that our own staff members have donated, and said, hey, this is the way Grandma did it. This is the way Dad did it. This is the way, we do it.
One of the recipes you have on there is one of the ones I got from Bev and RD years ago when they first started. It might have been one of their first recipes, but it's how to do the briskets, where you pack them in sugar and steak and roast rub, and then you put onions, all that. And we have done that for years and years and years, and it is just amazing. And it's real easy to do. That's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. We're going to pack them tonight and then put them on tomorrow and slow cook them. And so if anyone needs to know how to do a brisket and you want it to come out really flavorful and really tender and moist, I would suggest you go on their website. What is your website, by the way?
And again, it's outdoorhome.com.
And look for their brisket recipe.
Yeah,
It's
there's probably
amazing.
4 or 5 of them on
there
that.
There probably is now,
Yeah.
but this is like one of the very first ones I think you guys come out with, and it's really, really delicious.
Yeah, sometimes navigating that website can be a little difficult. You might have to find the little area where it talks about recipes in the past. But if you get into that, you'll find just about anything you could imagine. And another great site for help with really, again, any grill, but at Big Green Egg's website. That's just greenegg.com. They're going to have some nice recipes there. I find I get some of my best recipes by just going to the Google search engine, typing in whatever in the world I could possibly think about cooking out on my egg, followed by the words Big Green Egg. So lasagna, Big Green Egg. The ribs, baby back ribs, Big Green Egg.
I've done that too, and you could get some really neat. There's a lot of people out there with these Big Green Eggs that really get into this YouTube
Absolutely.
thing, and it shows you the video and it talks about how they do it, and it shows you before and cooking it. There's some really cool videos out there.
An egg's not producing those. That's private individuals
Yes,
out there that are saying, hey, here's the way I do it. Let me share the joy that we get out of our egg, and where have you heard anything like that?
Yeah.
Every year here in Springfield, we do, and we just did it this last September, and we'll do it next September, I'm sure. But we do a thing called a local Egg Fest, and the Egg Fest is actually where it's a fundraiser that we do usually in conjunction with a couple of charities here in the local area. But we'll invite our clients to come in, bring their food, cook what they like to fix on their egg, and share that with the community. And we charge mittens then for that,
Sure.
coming into the event. But this last year we had about 500 people show up, just for the tasting. We had 38 cook teams. That was like 78 cooks out there working with green eggs that we supplied.
Wow.
And where do you hear that? I mean, you just don't see that with most anything.
No,
Yeah.
And that's such a fun event because then, like you say, you're able to come out and actually taste the different foods that come off the egg. If you've never ate anything off egg or all that, sometimes to put that kind of money out on a smoker or a grill like that, and you've never had the chance to see how it works or taste anything off of it, might be a little intimidating to some people.
I took a deep breath.
So that's really a neat thing to do. And then if you're interested in it, you go out there and once you taste something off the egg, you're going to buy one. There's no doubt in my mind you're going to buy one. And now we also have a gas grill and we have an infrared burner, and we use both of those for different things. I use the gas grill mostly to rotisserie chickens and stuff like that on, and different things. Or I do breakfast. I make my biscuits on it, and then use my infrared to make gravy or whatever I'm going to do with it, or pancakes or whatever. But for the most part, though, the egg is our main thing that we go to. And We started out with we had a mini one time. Then I still have a small. We had a large and extra large. I've never owned the medium, but the extra large is hands down my favorite one to cook on. It seems like it's the easiest to regulate. It starts very quickly, and I can put I can put a whole meal on there. I can put the entire meal on that extra large. The meat, the potatoes, the vegetables, the corn, whatever I'm cooking, all on one, and it's all cooked out there. Everything we need on one grill.
Right.
That is hands down my favorite. I just love that one.
I own a large, and a large is half the size, the dome space, if you will. It's not half the size, but each time you go up or down in sizes on eggs, it's the amount of space that's up in that dome when you close that lid. And each time you go up or down, it's half again as big. So a small's twice a mini.
Right.
Medium's twice as small.
Right.
And our large is our best seller. But with a
Sure.
large, you can do a full size pizza that'll typically feed the family. I've done I fed 30 in basically my neighborhood. And that was doing 2 8.5-pound pork butts. They were bone-in Boston butts. So that was 17 pounds of meat. It was a 19-hour cook to hit 195 to get to my internal doneness factor that I was looking for, so I could pull these for sandwiches. But that fed 30 people 2 sandwiches each.
Wow.
And I didn't even use a full bed of fuel.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
I still had probably about a quarter of a bed left of charcoal in the bottom of the egg. And that's a neat thing about these. You'll reuse that same fuel over and over and over again.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah, so it's extremely efficient. I cook on mine 2 to 3 times a week, and last year I used 4.5 bags of charcoal the entire year. And I'm doing pork butts, I'm doing turkeys, I'm doing ribs, I'm doing steaks.
Where some of that's on for several hours at a time.
Oh, absolutely.
So we do that too.
Yeah.
Can you cook bacon on a big green egg? Has anybody ever done that?
You can. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
Anytime you're dealing with a fat, grease, anything like that, there's a potential for flare up, as you get the drippings and stuff in it.
Right.
Now, the beauty of an egg is that when you close that lid, you've got total control on the oxygen. So there's no such thing as a flare up. You're not going to put your steak on, and then go, oh my gosh, because it's shooting flames out the side,
Yeah.
And I've had that happen on my gas grill back when I had a gas grill.
Sure.
And for more advanced users, I've played with mine enough. I even have a Dutch oven, and I put my Dutch oven in there, and I'll do chilies and stews, New England clam chowder, things like that. And you get a little smokiness into the cream of a New England clam chowder, and that's pretty doggone awesome.
I bet.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. I've done some soups and stuff on mine as well. Some chili and
lots
different
of fun.
things. Yeah,
Lots
it
of
is
fun.
If someone's out there and let's just say that they have someone on their list and they're looking for one of those last minute Christmas gifts. We're kind of running down to the clock's about to run out. Regardless of what kind of grill or whatever they use for outdoor cooking, they can come in your store and find some really neat, unique gifts. It's from timers to spatulas to utensils to rubs. I mean, there's just a variety of things that you have. Aprons. Gosh, I can't think of it. You just have a ton of stuff in there that someone could go in for like a last-minute Christmas present for someone who loves to cook outside.
Absolutely. We carry all the accessories from all the different manufacturers of grills that we carry. So even a rotisserie, just whatever you possibly could think of for that outdoor grill or in the family, we could probably help you out with selections of accessories. One of our big sellers this time of year is our digital thermometers. Personally, I own one that has a transmitter and receiver. So I can plug that into my meat, go inside, be watching a ball game, and monitoring what's happening out at the grill. So there's some really neat things like that we carry the product, but we also carry the replacement componentry for. So we service the products that we sell.
Yeah.
Gas grills. We've touched on that. And we have a wide variety of manufacturers. Napoleon.
That's
Weber.
what I have. We have a Napoleon.
There you go.
Yeah.
MHP, again, those are some big companies on that. We carry side smokers, 3/8-inch steel, lifetime warranties against burn through from companies like Yoder. Again, that's a company out of Kansas that's Amish made American company. Furniture, we haven't even touched on furniture.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother hour.
Yeah, it sure is. Well,
and you have like some really neat outdoor cabinetry type things too.
Absolutely.
If your egg is in what you call a nest, and you've had that for a while, and you want to put it in a table or something like that, you have all kinds of really neat designs and things that people can like put it in a table and maybe have some a countertop around it or different things like that. So if you want to kind of upgrade that.
Some of that's ready-made and sitting there in stock,
Right.
And we can even help you through the process of doing that custom outdoor kitchen.
Because those eggs are a little heavy to pick up by yourself.
They are.
And put in a cabinet. So, yeah, you might need a little assistance with that. But
yeah, no doubt. Now, one question that come to mind, there's always, when we cook out on a deck, safety is always an issue. Seems to me like a green egg is a little safer to cook outdoors on a wood deck than a regular old charcoal grill.
Mark, I'm glad you brought that up. It goes right back to that original thing that we talked about, that corderite material being such a good insulator.
Right.
You're putting a grill, and one of the tables that we sell comes from a big green egg, and it's actually made of cypress wood. And that egg sits right on that wooden table, with about an inch all the way around it, but it's only an inch away from wood. And that thing's such a good insulator, you can be cranking that at 750 degrees to sear that steak. It doesn't burn the table up. It's that much of an insulator. So if you have small children, prying hands and things like that, it's going to be much safer than most grills out there.
Right.
Ours was in a wood table for a long time until we put our outdoor kitchen. Now it's in some cabinetry and some stuff because we did a whole kitchen ensemble. But yeah, we used a wooden table with ours for many, many years, and it was never ever an issue. So.
And nowadays more and more people are starting to per se live outdoors. We cook outdoors, we have all of our activities. We enjoy being outside. And, in the weather that we're starting to have here in the Ozarks the last few years especially, look, tomorrow we got 60 degrees. What better day than to go out on the deck and fire up the grill or whatever and spend some time outdoors.
Absolutely.
Because our indoor time that we have to stay in the hard winter is shrunk, seems like.
Thank goodness.
And so we have more outdoor time to enjoy, so why not have the nice furnishings outside, the nice patio furniture, the nice grills and everything. And
I'm going to fire up my fire pit, and sit around that tomorrow night, and it'll take the edge off. And
we're going to do that this evening.
Yeah.
If the wind dies down and we don't have too much wind, that's one of the things we're going to do is build a fire outside and hang outside and around the campfire and just have a good time.
Cook something on your egg.
Absolutely. We're going to do steaks tonight. That's what my son wants. So he put his order in early.
There you go. Better take care of him.
I'm going to.
Yeah, that's right. Well, before we run out of time here, Mark, give us all your contact information once again.
Absolutely. Outdoor Home, we have 2 locations. Our main location's in Springfield, Missouri at 3107 East Chestnut Expressway. You can call us at area code 417-869-0174. Our second location's in Nixon, Missouri, and that's at 404 South Massey Boulevard. And our phone number there is, again, 417, and it's 761-7611.
Now, what hours is the store open?
We're open from 10 o'clock in the morning at both locations until 6 o'clock in the evenings. So that can be kind of tough sometimes, but we are open on Saturdays as well.
So there you go. If you're out shopping and need somewhere to go, looking for something unique or different, hit one of these Outdoor Home stores.
Absolutely. It's a place to go.
You'll be glad you did.
Yep, that's right. And don't forget the website, outdoorhome.com. I got it pulled up here on the computer right now looking at recipes.
There you go.
Good stuff on there. So
there is.
So you got a big weekend?
Got a big weekend. Got my kids and grandkids coming this evening. We're going to kind of get some things ready. Have a bunch of friends and family coming tomorrow night for a Christmas party. So, yeah, we got lots going on.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Well, you're listening to Home Repairs and Solutions. We're heard every Friday morning from 10 to 11 right here on AM 560 KWTO.